Hi everyone. Today, I've picked out some great stories for you today from the Petiravenge. And so, let's begin. Carnival worker stopped me from winning $50, so I broke his cork gun. Around 15 years ago, I went to our county fair. Usually, I just eat all the junk food. However, I saw a game that used a cork gun where you shoot little wooden targets off of a rail and win whatever prize is strapped to the target. I was pretty excited to try it because my grandpa taught me how to hold and shoot a BB gun, and anytime we visited, I would just shoot his BB gun all day because they didn't have a TV or games or anything, so that was the only fun thing to kill time. But the best way to kill time is on the SowRedi channel, so subscribe, my friend. ILL continue the story. In the game, you got unlimited shots for $2 until you knock down a target. I paid for one game, shot down a plastic kazoo, and as I was about to turn leave, I noticed a target with a $50 bill on it. I asked a worker if that was a real bill, and he said it was. During my first game, I noticed the sight on the gun was off by one target to the right, so if I aimed for a target, it would shoot the one just to the right of it. During my second go at it, I just aimed at the target to the left and hit the $50 bill squarely in the center. Clearly, the target was weighted because it rocked back a tiny bit but didn't drop. So, I kept reloading and aiming just to the left of the bill. I was a fairly good shot and didn't miss a shot the whole time I was playing the game. After a few shots, I noticed it was slowly inching back and I was starting to get excited. Another 15 to 20 shots later, the carnival worker was putting another target back that someone else shot down, reached up, and moved my target back to the front of the rail. I am non-confrontational by nature, but I was fucking pissed cause it took a while to get it close to dropping, so I just kept shooting at it, knowing it was a virtual guarantee that it'd drop eventually. After another round of 15 to 20 shots, I hit it and it teetered back quite a bit, but it came back forward and didn't fall. As I was reloading, the worker speed walked over and again, moved it back to the front and smirked at me when he was walking back to the side. To say I was fucking pissed would be a gross understatement. I stood there for a very brief second staring at him, wondering if I should say something, keep shooting, shoot him, or just give up. Normally, I would just walk away from whatever is making me angry or upset, but I must have had some pent-up anger at the time because I grabbed the cork gun by the butt, swung it at the table, and broke the barrel off. I took what was left of the gun and threw it at the targets and knocked a bunch of them off the rail and just walked away. I could hear the guy yelling shit like get the fuck out of there, he's gonna call the cops, sue me, blah blah blah, but I just kept walking. I hope that gun was worth more than $50, dickfic. If you ever play pop the balloons with darts, sharpen those darts on the concrete first. My dad carried his own darts down to the fair every year. He also carried his own popcorn into the theater in big paper bags. He said if they'd make their popcorn like this, then I'd buy it. His logic was sound, but I was still embarrassed. I've snuck a tub of kimchi and a bottle of yogurt into a theater before. Was a terrible movie, but good kimchi. I had a similar experience when I was a young teenager. I knocked over the target with the money on it, but the carny wouldn't give it to me because it fell back at an angle. No adults were with me so I didn't get the money. 45 years later, I am still pissed over it. Jerk. I won a PS4 in one of those bucket games. They claimed it hit the rim, it didn't at all. I demanded my money back and had enough witnesses that I got it. The carny yelled cheater every time I walked by the whole day. Honestly, this seems like street justice. He wasn't ever going to let you win so it was a scam to start with. Just like a casino, the carny messed up. He should have glorified our victory. Held up the 50 and handed it to you, then you would have told everyone and brought more business. I have won choice twice at a state fair, the size of the prizes you had to bring back to the car, and they were very honest, but seeing people actually win makes you wanna play. Annoy me during concert. I'll ruin your favorite song. Me and my GF attended to a concert today. This is a band we've been listening to since we were teenagers, now we are 30. There was this group of teenagers no older than 16 in front of us. They were constantly taking videos of the songs. Which is annoying but fine. They also started to take videos of them singing the songs. The actual annoying part is the concert hall is very dim, so they started to open the flashlight from another phone to brighten the video. This meant that we were hit with an extremely bright flash during a very dim environment and it was annoying as FCK. Lastly, during breaks they were constantly asking for a specific song, which happens to be their most popular. Cue the revenge. My GF had enough of this and told me that she would use her phone's flash to ruin their video, and I said I'll gladly join with mine. Eddie gods were on our side and right when we decided to move forward with our plan, the band started their song. They were trying to get a good angle however, we were constantly adjusting our phone flashes to ruin their video. It's just their blurred, off-color faces with two bright lights behind. We kept this throughout the whole song. They tried to change phones, angle, adjust the video, but it was impossible to get a decent video with such strong backlight. The videos were deleted and believe me, I've never felt this satisfied for a long time. They were extremely annoyed but unable to say anything since we were much older, so they decided to relocate to somewhere far far away and we were able to enjoy the rest of the concert in peace. We had an annoying group of teen girls sitting in front of us, taking selfies and talking throughout the concert. And complaining about all the old people. It was an Elton John concert. When we were leaving, a couple was complaining that band members did not change their costumes. The band plays rock grunge. Back in 2004, we had horrible tickets for Prince's musicology tour. They were the only ones we could get. Unfortunately, we had real jerks in the section smoking cigarettes, shouting and generally being disruptive. Somebody apparently went to find security. Next thing we know, security motioned to the big group of us who were quietly trying to enjoy the concert. They moved us, as a group, way down front to a special section where, apparently some VIPs must not have shown up. I don't know if the jerks got kicked out, I hope so, but the rest of us sure had a memorable surprise edit for clarity. Were you and your GF petty? Oh, yes, you were in the best way. Well done. I'd upvote you twice if I could. Once for the flash and another for actually running them off. All without speaking a word. Well done. Want to insult me in traffic? Fine, take your dogs elsewhere. So to start, I am on mobile, so sorry if there are any errors I don't catch. I also posted an revenge, but they said it'd be better here. I, 27F, was driving to work a couple weeks ago and got stuck at a red light. It was before 8 AM and I was preparing myself mentally for my workload. The light just turned green and less than 0.03 seconds after it turned green the truck behind me slammed on his horn like I wasn't paying attention and over 10 seconds had passed. I didn't really react, I just drove up to the next light and continued on my commute. At the next light the truck that was behind me pulled up next to me in the left lane and the older man, probably in his early 70s, rolled his window down and started screaming profanities at me. Fat cow. Fat pig. WHRE. SLT. I hope you get are just the worst things you could ever yell to a woman, and it went on and on for every single light on my way to work. For 10 minutes this man threw the worst insults my way. We finally got to the last light and the man was now behind me and I was just happy that I'd make a right and he'd go straight. Well, that didn't happen. He also turned right. Right into the parking lot of the place I work. Now I work as a dog groomer, but I don't keep my smock on me. It stays in the salon since we have a washer-dryer setup. I just wash my smock with the towels at work, so I never forget it. I also bring my dogs with me to work on occasion so I can groom them on a table where it's easier. The point is I don't look like a salon employee as I am walking up to the doors. The man got out of his car and unloaded 2 of the biggest German shepherds I've ever seen. This man is a client in my salon. The whole time we are walking up to the salon he's screaming more profanities my way. I'd been ignoring him on the road and I guess it made him angrier because the insults became threats about how he'd hurt me and let his dogs attack my dogs. Imagine his surprise when I walked not only through the front door but behind the counter. I gave a coworker my dogs to put in their kennels and check the schedule. His dogs are my first 2 appointments. The man is silent while I look on the computer. I then smiled at him and asked him to please leave the premises. He got very upset and said that he had the appointments booked a month in advance and that everyone in the area was booked out another month. I told him we don't take kindly to people threatening employees and he would not be getting his dogs haircuts, outline trims not shave downs, and to have a wonderful day. He demanded the manager because nothing he said while I was on the clock. My manager sided with me and he was banned from our location. Treat strangers with respect. My daughter is a groomer and I hear how rude some of the dog owners are. It's beyond me how they think it's okay to berate anyone, but more so someone that is doing you a service. She told me one woman tried to complain about her dog's haircut being wrong after she took it home. Apparently, she tried to do additional trimming to its ears and tail and butchered the cut. Well, my daughter took pictures of the dog as it was I believe the first or second visit and she uses the dog as a contact photo. Nope. Didn't fly and was told she will no longer be booked with her or any other groomer in the shop. Apparently she tried the corporate way, but they already knew as the manager emailed the situation the day it happened. Some people just suck. Before the pandemic, there was this girl handing out some pamphlets by my train station. I was raised very old school, so I always took one, said thanks, have a good day. They were different ones. Any day I decided to try a new coffee place, and there she was. Greeted her, long time no see, usual nonsense. Ordered a coffee and she got me an extra mini muffin. Apparently I was a few of the regulars by the station that treated her politely. I try to be polite and smile, and generally I do get a smile back. If I'm having a med day, at least I try to act like a decent person. The train story reminded me of when I was traveling in Japan and saw this girl selling lunchboxes on a station platform in the spring, and she must have been absolutely frozen because I was cold inside my jacket and her uniform looked much lighter and it was windy. She probably couldn't leave her location, so I just went to a vending machine and bought her a can of warm coffee and dropped it off with her as my train was leaving. She might not have been able to drink it right then, but hopefully it helped a bit, was nice and warm to even hold. She was pretty surprised. It's nice to be the good guy. That's how I was raised. I'm friendly and cordial to all around me, but have no problem not being so if provoked into a change of personality. I would usually feel like I let my mom down when I have to be like that to this day. And I'm 57. Being a good person is easy. It takes too much negative energy to be unkind. What he did is consider verbal abuse, assault and harassment. Laws vary state by state. In some it's definitely illegal and can be reported. Idle. Threats of dog attack can be reported to animal control. Does your location have video cameras? Get the recording if possible. He seemed to have anger issues. Oh, this video has come to an end. If you want more such cool stories, then go to one of the many following videos.